Guruve Namaha. So friends, we all know that the value of a teacher in our life is immense and invaluable. Albert Einstein has said that a great teacher inspires hope, ignites the imagination, and instills a love for learning. So we all can agree that whatever we are today, whatever we have achieved in our life so far, is standing on the shoulders of our beloved teachers. Maharashtra Ophthalmological Society is truly honored to present this episode of the legendary teachers of MOS, featuring our own teachers who transformed generations of ophthalmologists into great clinicians and also great humans. Presenting legendary Professor Dr. Shanta Motwani Madam from Mumbai, Professor Dr. Colonel Deshpande, Madan Deshpande sir from Pune, Professor Dr. Anil Kulhar sir from Meerut. So first of all, on behalf of Maharashtra Ophthalmological Society, we would like to welcome you and show our gratitude for accepting our kind invite. Before we go further, I would like to now invite our leading force, a great leader, a great team player who have taught us a lot in his tenure, how to work along with each and every person, how to take the right decisions, and how to give the right direction to the society. So I would like to now welcome Dr. Santosh Agarwal, sir, to give his presidential address, please. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Vardhaman, for your kind words. Good evening, everyone. Respected Dr. Madan Deshpande, sir, Shanta Motwani, madam, Dr. Anil Kulhar, sir, all seniors of our society, and my dear friends. I graciously welcome you all to this distinguished MOS Legendary Teachers Masterclass. At the outset, I sincerely thank all our legendary teachers for sharing their invaluable time for this masterclass. This legendary masterclass aimed at unveiling the very life story of our legendary teachers who have worked tirelessly to nurture the students and shape their life. Today, we are going to explore many facets of their lives and imbibe many pearls and virtues from them. In today's era of evolving technology, whopping competitions, and fast-paced life, everyone is in race and living a materialistic life. I earnestly request you all to please shed light on this aspect and guide us, especially our young generation. We are eagerly looking forward to listen to your untold life stories to grab the treasure and redefine ourselves. As this is the last episode of Legendary Masterclass, I wholeheartedly thank Dr. Vardhaman Kankriya, who is the chairman of Scientific Committee, and Aditi, Scientific Committee total team, and my MOS team, Dr. Atul Kadane, Dr. Mandar Paranjape, and especially Dr. Naina and Dr. Anamika for coordinating this event today, for their humongous endeavors to make my dream possible. Indeed, we learned many virtues from their arduous life journeys and indebted to all those MOS legends as well. I would like to conclude with a quote. A true legend is a master of many crafts, continually involving and inspiring across different facets of life. Moreover, a true teacher inspires and makes you a good human being. Thank you very much. Regards. Thank you. Over to Vardhaman, please.
Thank you so much, sir. I think all your quotes are always very inspiring. And so now I would like to go further to have a small introduction of our legends of today. Of course, the legends of today require no introduction. I think they are there in the hearts of countless students that they have taught in their life, who are there across the state of Maharashtra, also across India, and I'm very sure across the globe as well. So I would like to now present to you Dr. Shanta Motwani ma'am. Uh, Dr. Motwani ma'am did her post-graduation from Udaipur in 1971. She had then worked as a tutor in Nair in 1974, in Sayan Hospital from 1977 to 2011, a long association, and in KJ Somaiya as a professor and head of department from 2001 to 2016. She has held a variety of prestigious positions as the secretary of the Bombay Ophthalmic Association, as the president of BOA in 1998, as the PG guide since 1980s, as the PG teacher since 1980 to 2016, which is 36 long years that she has imparted knowledge to her students. She was very popular. She was very, very popular for her workshops. And we have heard a lot about phacoemulsification training workshops in the early times, the RK training workshops, the retina laser training workshops, which were all planned and executed under the tutelage of ma'am. And most importantly, ma'am has been awarded with the Lifetime Achievement Award by BOA in 2024. Ma'am has also done a humongous amount of community work and organized and participated in a variety of eye camps and active participation in eye donation awareness campaigns everywhere. So thank you, ma'am, for accepting our invite and being here today. Thank you. Now I would like to present our inspiration, Colonel Dr. Madan Deshpande, sir. Sir is currently the Chief Medical Director of the very prestigious HV Desai Eye Hospital in Pune. The hospital has many satellite centers. But most importantly, sir has been in Indian Army with the effect from 1964 to 1997. And during this time, he was actively involved in both 1965 and 1971 Indo-Pak wars at the forefront with the infantry. I think this definitely is a absolutely amazing salutation moment. He is a postgraduate teacher and examiner to variety of universities since last 35 years. Sir is examiner also for PhD at AIMS at the RP Center. Dr. Colonel Deshpande sir has achieved variety of very prestigious awards during his career, including the Vishishta Seva Medal by the President of India in 1992, the Vishwa Mata Foundation Award in 2006, Outstanding Service in Prevention and Blindness Award, which is a very prestigious award given by the Asia Pacific Academy of Ophthalmology, Best Teacher Award by our own MOS, a Lifetime Achievement Award by both POS, which is Pune Ophthalmological Society, and Marathwada Ophthalmological Society, Smita Albal Oration Award in 2012, and so on and so forth. Sir has been instrumental in not only his clinical work, but he has been instrumental in capacity building, strategic planning, and quality review of 32 partner hospitals all across the country, and is currently mentoring 12 eye hospitals. Sir has been also the president of the prestigious Vision 2020 in the past, and he has served as the expert appointment of the assistant professor for both UPSC, associate professor at AIMS in New Delhi as well. So we welcome sir for our legendary masterclass, and thank you so much for sparing your very valuable time and being here for inspiring all of us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Azman. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, we present to you a very, very renowned teacher, a very inspiring figure for us as a teacher and also as a leader in our MOS as well, Dr. Anil Kulhar, sir, from Meerut. Sir did his MS in 1979 from Nagpur University, and then he joined as lecturer in the Government Medical College in Ambezogai in 1980 to 1982. In fact, sir has been also a tutor to my father during those times. He has been an honorary professor since 1982 to 1998 at GMC Meerut, a professor and head of Department of Ophthalmology at the Bharati Medical College in Sangli from 2005 to 2018, a postgraduate teacher and examiner at variety of universities since 1988. Sir is recognized teacher of both DNB since 1998. He is recognized consultant for phaco Research and Training Center, authorized IOL trainer by the Government of India, a recipient of Best Honorary Surgeon Award from the Government of India, which is a very prestigious award. He has received variety of Best Paper Awards at both Bombay and state conferences as well. The Best Medical Teacher Award at MOS, our own MOS, in 2007. Dr. V.K. Chitnis Oration Award in Jalna in 2002. Sir has presented variety of instruction courses at many international prestigious organizations such as American Academy, WOC. He is the founder chairman of the Prathamesh Laser Eye Center in Sangli and the chairman of Atharva Netralayan Research Center, which is at Pune. He is the ex-managing trustee and teacher at the Lions NAB Eye Hospital at Meerut, and ex-chairman scientific committee of the MOS in 1997 to 1999. Sir is a member of was the member of managing committee of AIOS between 1998 to 2000 and then 2008 to 2010. And sir has been a ex-president of Maharashtra Ophthalmological Society in 2001 to 2002. So on behalf of MOS, Dr. Anil Kulhar, sir, we welcome you all and we welcome you. And we are very thankful for spending your very valuable time with us. And now to take this session further, we have amazing, very dynamic duo who are themselves are great teachers and very well-renowned figures in both MOS and in their own ways also in their medical colleges. First, we would like to welcome Professor Dr. Naina Poddar ma'am, who is the professor and head of department at the TNMC and the Nair Hospital in Mumbai. Ma'am is a gold medalist, of course, herself, and holds a FAICO in pediatric ophthalmology from AIMS New Delhi. She has a 25 years plus experience and her area of interest is pediatric ophthalmology and community ophthalmology. Her major achievements have been that she has been a PG guide for more than 25 years. She has been a principal investigator of a variety of research and clinical trials. She has planned community ophthalmological diagnostic programs, school screening programs, and mobile ophthalmology van, along with variety of other things that ma'am has done in association also with MOS. Ma'am has been bestowed with variety of honors and awards, including the National Hero of Maharashtra MOS award that we had honor of bestowing on ma'am last year, Distinguished Professor of Ophthalmology in India award, Icon Oration award. She has more than 50 national and international publications, awards for paper and poster public presentations as well. She has been as a faculty, as a judge in variety of conferences, has held very important positions and has been a member of many national and international societies. And she has taken humongous efforts for today's webinar. So thank you, ma'am, for all your efforts for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Vardhaman, for that extensive CV. I'm honored.
Thank you, ma'am. And now we have Dr. Anamika Agrawal, ma'am, who is currently at my alma mater, which is the KEM Hospital. She is a GSite and has done her MBBS from KEM in 1995, DNB from Sayan in 2000. She has been a very ex-student and I believe one of the favorite students of Dr. Shanta Motwani, ma'am. She has been a PG guide since 2009. And she has worked in all the major hospitals in Mumbai, Sayan, Nair, and KEM. She has been a force behind the community services. She has done her medical retina training from Shankar Netralaya and a short-term observation at pediatric ophthalmology at AIMS as well. So we welcome you, Dr. Anamika ma'am, and thank you to both you and Dr. Naina ma'am for all your efforts today. Now I would like to hand over the proceedings of this legendary masterclass to both Dr. Naina ma'am and Dr. Anamika ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vardhaman. So let me start by saying that teachers who put relationship first don't just have students for only 1 year, but students who see them as their teacher for lifetime. So saying this, my first icebreaker question is, I will start with Motwani madam. What inspired you to pursue career in ophthalmology and what challenges did you face, ma'am, in your early career?
I think I took up ophthalmology by elimination of the other subjects. I thought medicine was very difficult, surgery, I didn't want to sit with the patient the whole night. And gynec, I would be outside the theater than with the patient. So I thought ophthalmology was a good subject. Only 24 millimeters, I can't go wrong. So I took up ophthalmology.
Interesting, ma'am. Interesting. Okay, the same question I put to Dr. Colonel Madan Deshpande, sir. Sir, why did you take this?
Go on, yeah,
Um,
correct.
Thank you, ma'am. I passed my MBBS. Before I passed, I joined army. I was selected to join army, so I joined army, and in the army, wherever you are, first you have to be a good soldier, and then you have to practice your own profession. So I chose to become a good soldier in the army, and did commando course as a paratrooper.
Yeah, wow.
Then, luckily, I also was involved in the 65 and 71 war. And after my finishing short service commission, I came back. I didn't know what to do. And as a matter of, there's some interview for, those days, there's no optometry, there's a refraction post was there in a government college, medical college, Aurangabad. So I appeared. I had a fight with the Surgeon General because he asked me to go and serve in a village. I said, I served in an area which you have not imagined in your life. I had been a snowbound area, I had been a desert during the summer. And now you want me to again go and serve in a village. I said, I don't want, then something he talked rubbish about army, then I gave him my. Ultimately, I got that post. I don't know how. And I landed in Aurangabad. I done my graduation from there. So Professor Maria, nice person at heart, but he said, no, I will not give you MS, I'll give you MS. I said, fine, no problem, give me. So I started doing, then after 15 days, I went to him. I said, sir, give me a topic, because I got exemption of 1 year. And I had only 9 months to finish my DOMS. So I got a topic from him, and that's how I finished this thing. I became an ophthalmologist. And those were the days when, as Professor Shanta told, ophthalmology was a soft specialty. There are not much work, but luckily for me, I did quite hard work because I had a gap of 5 years. After that, I was doing projection. So at just 15 days before examination, professor called me and he said, you don't appear. I said, what's the problem? He said, no, if you appear, I'll fail you. So they could do that. Now we can't do it.
Difficult.
So anyway, I said, okay, I'll not appear. I'll go back to army. But let me know why I should not appear. Then he told me that somebody has promised him to make permanent as a professor. In return, he wants nobody should pass this time, and he should get that leader's post. Anyway, then I joined back army, and good for me. That's how I became ophthalmologist. By accident.
Oh, okay. Sir, we share the same college for MS. I also belong to
Great.
Government Medical College, Aurangabad. Nice to know. Coming to Kulkarni, sir, are you there? I would also like you to answer the same question. What inspired you to pursue career in ophthalmology?
Basically, when we were studying and passed out MBBS, there was nothing much like a inspiring or something. Basically, the idea is that whichever post-graduation is available, you should take that. And I was more interested in gynecology, so did my first house post in gynecology. And then we realized that there are no registrars post available in gynecology. And particularly in Nagpur, the work was so much. But if you are a registrar, you get the work and surgical work. Otherwise, as a pure PG student, I remember the gynec department had 35 PG diploma students, leave apart 18 degree students. So obviously, you are not supposed to do anything unless you are a registrar's post holder. And that time, the ophthalmology also had taught, so obviously it was available. And then we had a gem of a person and teacher in the Professor Ishwar Chandra as the professor there. And obviously, somebody told us that this is actually a nice opportunity for you to shift. And by that time, actually, I was engaged also. So then people started telling me, if you don't want to stay at your home, because it's going to be 23 hours day for organic, better to go to the ophthalmology. And I remembered the first day when I shifted from gynec to ophthalm. In the night time, somebody told me that there are 10 patients who are posted for cataract. And I remember I had done blood grouping and cross matching for all 10 people with the habit which we had developed during gynec posting. So then
Okay.
everybody started laughing that you don't require blood for the entire 3 years of course. But ophthalmology, then we never thought that we made a mistake because it was a very good department. And I remember that after the first year, because my father was transferred to Pune, I was offered a position at Pune also. Then Dr. Chikodi was the civil surgeon. He was the one who told me and told my father that whatever amount of clinical work you get in Nagpur, you will not get anywhere in Maharashtra. So don't ask him to leave Nagpur. Let him continue over there. And that is how we developed also the liking to ophthalmology. And then see, Nagpur has got one speciality that most of the people who are studying there want to become teachers. And that is how you will find that entire Maharashtra, most of the medical colleges have teachers from Nagpur. Because the idea was that anybody who is topping the MS would become a lecturer. Somebody who doesn't get the lecturer's post will become medical officer. And if gaya bhita aadmi hai, kuch nahi mil raha hai, then he will go to private practice. Those trends were so much inculcated in us that we never thought that there is a question of going into private practice. Once I came to Marathwada, then the thought started coming that okay, private practice is also not bad. You can still continue to do that. And then because that question of teaching post was there, I opted for Government Medical College Mirrors because that honorary professor's post was advertised that time. And somebody told me at Ambejogai, you will not get that post because you are nobody in Sangli. Because of that particular tingling, I said, no, I will just try. And then, of course, I shifted here in 1982. For 16 years, we were drawing a payment of 250 rupees per month. But then the satisfaction which we got in that honorary post was beyond whatever we could earn.
Lovely, sir, lovely. So we have three legendary teachers coming from three different pockets of Maharashtra. Now I hand over to Anamika, my colleague and a very dear friend. Bubbly Anamika, are you there? We
Yes,
will take over. Yes. So yes.
yeah. Good evening, everyone, and happy Navratri to all of us. At the outset, I thank MOS for giving this opportunity. Hardcore fan of Motwani Madam, I'm feeling really blessed for this chance. The word Motwani Madam is synchronous. Huh? The word Motwani Madam is synchronous with a motherly eagle, a fearless lioness, a legendary queen, favorite mentor, and a heartbeat of all the Sayan Ofthal. When you get admission in Sayan Ofthal, getting admission over there was just like, debut in Yash Chopra's film, a super hit career, a perfect blend of academics, 360-degree surgical exposure, and also a taste of corporate ophthalmology. Any Sayan Ofthal passed out was so confident that immediately after passing, finishing their post graduation, they would jump into the private
Paris pani
practice.
dena.
That much confidence they had. It was a really wonderful confidence and upbringing of our mentors at Sayan. I request Motwani Madam to share her experience of bringing the ophthalmology, Sayan ophthalmology, to such a great height, wherein Sayan opthal was a topmost priority in that time. Sayan Ofthal has witnessed a golden era. So, Motwani madam, please share your experience of bringing Sayan Ofthal department to this great height. Motwani madam.
When I became head of the department, Sayan was at the bottom. So I told everyone, I had only 3 residents, Tunde, and I said, look, we have to work. Don't think of anything else. So we just got down and we started writing papers, seeing patients, and operating on them. And then we got more students, and that was a godsend. And I told everyone that, look, the more you work, the more practice you will get. I'm not going to stop you. And we used to have 20 surgeries, which the sister would not give us the next day. So I would tell them that do some surgeries in the evening so that other people can operate the next day. So we had some surgeries in the evening, which I would label as lens-induced glaucoma, lens drop, which was not there. I would just put it like that as an emergency so that nobody would question me to put them for the evening surgeries. So every one of us were happy to do the surgeries. And I would make sure that I did not do more than 5. If they put more than 5 on my name, I would yell. I said, what? Why are you making an old woman like me work so much? Come on, you all do the work. I'm here. But I'm not doing more than 5. So everybody did more work. And then we had lasers. We would have 13, 14 yard lasers, 5, 7 argon lasers. There's a limit to how much I can do. My eyes would ache. So I would yell at Ashish and Manish. I said, what the hell? You're going to make me blind like this. And we would be there till 6 o'clock in the evening. And I said, I'm not going to stay more than this. You have to take over. So I would, the argon laser, I would do the center part and leave them to do the surrounding. I would not do that. And yard laser, I would let them do it and then see whether they are not hitting the lens, they're not hitting anything else. And if they're not doing that, I would let them do it. And we were very happy that we finished the lasers by 6 o'clock in the evening. So that way, the more work we got, the more happier we were. And we organized the first BOA conference in Sayan, which we had no experience of. But we went and got the shamiana, the chairs, the tables. And Atul carried those big dekis 3 floors up, which I don't think he's ever done it in his life. But we did all that. And I made the people read the papers, even though Dr. Adrian Walla got very upset that these people have never read papers. Why are you making them read? I said, but they have to start somewhere. You can't say, no, they are not doing it. So that's the way we did the first conference in Sayan, the second conference in Sayan. And yes, I had a lot of support from Dr. K.K. Mehta. He helped me hell of a lot because I didn't know people. He got me instruments and got the staff to work, the people, the what is this? The the agents, what was no, the people who had these I forgot. Let it but he called all of them. We got lots of medicine, we got lots of instruments. And the thing is that the hospital, right from the dean to the ward boy, they cooperated with us. That yes, you're doing good work, carry on doing it. So that was good. I remember once the Italian people had come for the FACO workshop and there was no hall. So Dr. Madan Deshpande organized the place in the library. Come on, do it here. And she got the ACs done up so that we could have those foreigners have the conference there. So that was very nice. And and then the eye bank, we had a counselor in the hospital who would go and get the eyeballs in the hospital itself. We would get 60, 70 eyeballs from the hospital itself. So we were doing keratoplasties maximum in Mumbai, surpassed even JJ. So, I mean, we were doing the maximum surgeries, the maximum things, reading the maximum papers. So, and yes, my children, they got nine gold medals in a year. That was great. And it was advertised in the conferences by the deans and by the head of the department that ophthalmology has got 9 gold medals. And call her up, I used to be so happy. That was, and the saddest part was when I left Sayan. I mean, I felt that even the walls, the ward boys, the clerical staff, we were all sitting and crying that we were leaving. Those were the golden period of my life. And of Sayan Hospital. And of Sayan Hospital. We were the best when we left. And right from zero, we came up. And I remember Dr. P.T. Muscati. He would tell people, join Sayan, join Sayan. And that was a great thing. I mean, imagine Dr. B.T. Muscati telling people to join Sayan when he was in KEM. So that was lovely.
That is actually so true, madam. Very true. Sayan Ofthal had ruled and it had a golden era. Madam,
Yeah.
you had conducted FACO workshop, IEL training.
Yeah.
Also, you had done AGVs, more than 20, I think, in that era, 3-4 decades ago. And you were BO president also. Madam, what challenges you had faced? Because in MCGM, it's not a cup of tea for anyone. You are considered as a lioness. How did you manage with the
But you're
administration?
forgetting that I had 20 children in the department who helped me.
Correct.
You see, I never considered them as my students.
Correct.
I considered them as my children. And they helped me every step. So we conducted glaucoma valves. I went around all the doctors in Mumbai and begged them for those MOS valves because we never had that many. And they gave it to me.
Correct.
I mean, if there was a glaucoma retinal detachment patient, I went and borrowed from people, retinal surgeons. Give me a band, give me a tire, and they would give it to me. I would not pay them and they would not charge me. because I was not charging the patient.
True.
So that was great. And we had a department fund which was, I mean, everybody, it was managed and people.
But that was a great brainchild. Actually, that was not for you. That actually helped in bringing the department and indirectly the patient care also. Actually,
Yes.
it really helped, which wouldn't happen otherwise. Getting things done in MCGM is not
No,
easy at all. It's not a
laser probe would get spoiled, take
absolutely,
it out from the department fund.
absolutely.
And I would go and tell the dean, I'm taking it out from the department fund. She said, put it down in writing. Yes, I am putting it down in writing. And 60,000, we would take it out from the department fund.
Absolutely.
So the hospital also helped us. I mean, at 6 o'clock in the evening, people would say, where's Dr. Motwani? She would say, I'm sure she's in the department, go and see her. And, people from Ratnagiri would send us crates full of mangoes. And I would not know what to do with them. I would give it to everyone. Come on, take 12, take 12, 12, 12. But yet, in the canteen, we would leave them on the table for anybody to take. Because who's going to eat so much?
True.
So those were golden years.
Absolutely, golden years. Here, I would like to my nostalgia going back to those time of that tea club, where a professor and head is sitting along with the faculty, and right from the houseman to register, right from the junior most person to the senior most person, and having food together. I think this would have ever happened anywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
I can.
I remember Dr. Shirati had come. So they
Yeah,
told him that they are having food. So he said, let them finish. So somebody came and told me Dr. Shirati is outside.
correct.
So I told him, come and have food. So I called him inside, and whatever we had, we gave him one little piece of chapati.
I would say, yes, I would say कि in Sayan it was the training was beyond ophthalmology. It developed the family like bonding
Oh,
in
yes.
ophthalmology, not only ophthalm, but we inculcated lot of other human values along with ophthalmology.
Yeah.
Anamika, if I'm allowed, I am
Yeah.
a witness
Yes,
to
sir.
Yes, sir.
affection towards her students. I'd gone as an examiner to Sayan long back for
Yes, sir.
DNB. And I found Professor Shanta and her registrars and houseman so camaraderie was there, as if I thought
Yeah.
they belonged to the same family. And casually with me, there was one Seth from Ahmedabad had come. And while talking, because the whole atmosphere was so homely she had made.
Thank
And
you.
she said, मेरा बच्चे का शादी करना है, my
But
लड़के का शादी.
actually, sir, that's why I said
And
motherly eagle.
then I also told मेरा भी लड़के का शादी करना है. And we just forgot to continue the examination. In the evening, Shanta brought two residents. बोले एक तू ले जा, एक ये ले जाएगी. She gave two girls, and she
A
said,
very funny incident, sir. A very funny incident I would like to share. When we were in Sayan, we were not used to register for conference, and when I passed out, I was not aware only that we are supposed to register. So one of the conferences in immediately after Sayan, I just went like that because I was used. Motwani madam used to register all of us, and then I realized, oh my God, we have to register. I'm no more in Sayan. No more Motwani madam is there to take care. So these are the great things of Motwani madam, which will be cherished over years.
really, I think she stands first in the whole, anyway, any competition or anywhere in the world as an example
Yeah.
how to treat the residents.
Absolutely, absolutely. Actually, in Sayan Hospital, there are innumerable every day, almost every day was one of the happiest moment actually for me at least. Tom and Jerry is going to happen in residency, but most of the days were made happiest because of Motwani madam. Even though she was not present, she would call up in the ward, she would know who is working, what is happening, how much surgeries they are getting. a student, actually, allow me to share this. A student, she was so bold enough that one of her student, she made that student to do squint surgery in the second year of residency. Everyone was shocked, and that student was no but me. And I will never forget that. In today's era, when people are struggling, when people are struggling to do even cataract in their third year, here is a professor who is telling, do squint. I am there. Scleral bite you take. And everyone was zapped, like, what is madam doing? And it's not only me. Actually, I have experiences of many other seniors. Ki madam had stood back some IOL, I think it was SFIL or something, where madam said, you do it. And the sir said, I mean, doctor, I think Devastali, he said, ki, no, madam, but you haven't done. Madam said, it's okay. You learn. And she had stood back sit. I mean, this is, I really salute for this gesture. I mean, this is a very rare gesture which we would get now that, yeah, actually. And actually,
I agree with
yeah,
you,
yeah,
Anamika. It was a second home for the students. I've also
absolutely,
been
yes.
associated with Sayan for 17 years, and whatever trend Madam has started, we continued it. We tried to continue it, Madam.
The most,
Albeit not like you,
yeah, correct.
but we
The
did try.
only saddest moment that I had in Sayan when a farewell was given to me, and I was in tears, and like, I could see the same tears as well in the mentors. And it was said, Lake Salli Sasarla, what you said, no family. It was like my Maher, like, not only for me, for most of us, it was our second family actually. So, madam, what message would you like to give us, Motwani madam? What message would you like to give us, the younger generation?
Work hard, love your teachers, and the teachers will love you. The word
Excellent.
is love.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Excellent. With this note, I hand over to Naina madam to carry it forward.
Right. So, hearing Madam, I feel if there is a positive relationship between teachers and students, you can see the progress and the growth of the department. May I request Mr. Jain to share video of Shaunak, who has been an ardent follower of Madam and a very favorite student of Motwani Madam.
Dr. Shaunak Parekh is a medical director of Parekh Eye Hospital, Bandra.
मार लगाऊंगी कुछ ज्यादा बोलना तो हाँ
Yes.
इसको क्यों लेके आया वीडियो बनाया उसने
that this name evokes. It can be. Hello, all. Professor Dr. Shanta Motwani, Madam. What is the one sentiment that this name evokes? It can be nothing else but respect. You can ask this question not just to her students, but to everyone whose life has been touched by her charm and love. As a professor and head of department of Sayan Hospital, we have seen Madam play multiple roles. A diplomat and a politician when she had to argue with the bureaucracy of the municipality to procure new and latest instruments for the department. A teacher with clear and precise concepts of theory. A surgeon par excellence who could do simple surgeries to complicated vitrectomies with ease and finesse. A life coach and a motivator to all of us, forcing us to push boundaries and try new steps and surgeries. And of course, a mother hen towards all her students, very protective and caring. Try saying anything bad about her students and Vagache Nakh will be out. Wish you good health always. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Anamika. I'm Dr. Shaunak Parekh. Thank you.
इसको कहाँ से पकड़ के लाए
Madam, there are people who are pouring actually to speak for you, but we are not allowed.
Yeah, because of the constraint of timing, we just chose to.
So, yeah.
Next, we have, Anamika, Neeta Madam.
Next, Dr. Neeta Madam, Neeta Shanbag
Wow.
Madam, is ex-professor and head of DY Patil College, and she is medical director of Shanbag Eye Hospital in Mulund.
अरे
Neeta
कहाँ से
Madam.
पकड़ के लाए उसे नहीं आ रही है
Naina Madam?
Yeah, I think Rahulji, can you just share the video of Dr. Neeta Shanbag, madam?
Dr. Neeta Shanbag, madam.
Yes, ma'am. Wait.
Please. Thank you.
I am too small an entity to talk accolades about my teacher, mentor, guide, Dr. Shanta Motwani. Her virtues, honesty, straightforwardness, love, and respect for every human being. She possessed all leadership qualities like inspiring others, being a role model to her junior colleagues and students, enhancing the skill of her departmental staff, be it a colleague, student, or a worker, and building up on their weaknesses. I have never seen her humiliate anyone, nor has she given up on anybody without an effort. She taught us to be responsible and take accountability for our actions. She helped us realize success was not monetary, but the number of lives you touched and helped them in their difficult times. Finally, I would say, she is a guiding star who illuminated our path and helped us navigate the journey of life. Let us not honor her just today, but every day by showing respect, appreciation, and gratitude. I bow in front of her today and forever. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to say something about her.
Thank you. Such a beautiful word. Really, really, each and every bit being true about it. Yes.
लोग
Yes.
कहेंगे कि ये क्या कर रहा है
Carrying this journey
Right.
forward, Naina madam.
Yes. Now we have our second legendary teacher, Colonel Madan Deshpande, a multi-dimensional personality having, carried forward multiple roles. Sir, I would like to ask you, can you describe your transformation from AFMC student to AFMC teacher and a mentor lifelong? Madan Deshpande, sir. Deshpande, sir, are you there?
I'm there.
Yes, sir.
Rightly asked,
Should I repeat, sir?
I didn't know. Actually, I didn't pass from AFMC. It was not existing when I wanted to join as a teacher in AFMC. So I had a good 14 years of tenure as a teacher in Command Hospital, Pune and AFMC. Am I audible? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So from army gives a lot of things to you. You know, my army life, I thought I was wasting my life in soldiering, but I learned quite a lot qualities which were useful to me as a surgeon, as a sort of administrator, as a developer. And there are three roles I played. And number one, when I did paratrooping, when you join, they assess your fitness. And they say there are only two grades. One is a failure, other is a superior. There's nothing in between. So in life, we should always aspire to superior, not a mediocre one. That's one role I always kept, and I told my students, look, you're born to be superior, and failures are not allowed. But none of my students failed in any examination, which wherever it was held. It prepared them so well that they were ready to face any examiner and any examination. Then transformation, as you say, army doesn't mean a parade and firing and soldiering. It also a lot of I was lucky to have a very strict boss, Colonel Sihota, Ramanji's father. Ramanji Sihota's father was my boss.
Oh.
And he was very strict. In army, there's a tradition when you join from outside. I had a 5-year service, left, again rejoined after doing my post-graduation from Aurangabad. When I joined, army system is you have to be observed by the senior advisor. And I had to work with him for 3 months, and then he would write, am I fit or not fit? He had a habit that whenever some patient's enucleation has to be done, he used to ask him to sit down. Explain him. Baba, tera aankh nikalna hai, zarurat hai. Similarly, people used to come for grading for another step, that is classification to him. And those doctors, when they did not do well, last day he would call and ask them to sit down. So when I went, I observed during my 3 months of people who he asked them to sit down. He never gave fitness to anybody as an eye surgeon in the army. So he asked me to sit down. I said, I don't want to sit down. I know what's the meaning of sit down. You are not going to include me as eye surgeon. I said, None of my fault, I said. They said, you are half cooked meat. They said, then cook me. I said, no, if I'm not experienced, give me experience. He posted me in Delhi. And believe me, I was not a student. I was already done my surgery, so MS. We used to work from before sunlight to after sunlight in that place. And he had a habit of teaching practical. We used to have not only the OPD, but refer cases from ward in a big hospital, the army hospital. Suppose a case of a purple edema and all. Suddenly you'll ask after 10 days what happened to that case. So we had to watch the evolution of the disease by going and visiting that patient and tell him. So we learned practically all the diseases ourselves. We don't have to read. But yes, he was strict. That time we thought that we would murder him, but today I adore him as my guru. So this happens to everybody of us. Then when I left, then army, we were also as a teacher, as a professor, FMC. And when I became a teacher, I went to sort of our Vedic traditions, where they are given a definition of a teacher who should be good in both practice as well as the knowledge. Athato Brahma Jityasa. If you want to have Brahma Jityasa, then surrender to person who has got both these things. And then also I say how a student should be. Like Professor Shanta Moto, I would like to examine. They say student has to be Nirvajya Guru Sanniho. One should not have any hesitation in asking questions. None of it, so that he can imbibe knowledge, practice, skills as much as he can. And thirdly, when they say how a student should serve the teacher, Vedas say that pariprashnena sevaya. Go on asking questions. And these questions are clear your doubts. And when you clear your doubts, nothing remains. I think as a teacher, myself, Dr. Kulkarni, Professor Shanta, we all had to be teachers because we had to learn and teach. But there was no other way for students to gain knowledge. Books were there, but very costly. They were not within the reach. There is no other system. Either they have to go to somebody else and learn, or teacher has to learn. I think today you have a dilemma because they know much better, But there's so many avenues are open to them to learn knowledge.
Agreed, sir. Agreed with the internet and all.
That's another thing. So, we are lucky that way I would call it, that we could get the attention of students first, and they respected only when a teacher knew something and could give them something. There are two types of teachers during our time. One was he would have authority to fail students, so they were afraid of him. Second, a teacher who teach them, so they would respect him.
Right,
So
sir.
always
Right, sir.
that was one. Then IFMC, I was a teacher. I gave, but I had with a problem, beds. When the command hospital, I had only 2 civil beds, and the 2 civil beds, I could only twice a week, I had surgery. So that is not enough to give to my students. So I took over the Cantonment General Hospital's OT, and once a week I used to go and operate there. Then I requested commandant, once in a month he gave entire OT. There were 5 operation theaters. Like that, students who were not operating, they started getting a lot of surgery, and they became a better skilled ones. Thirdly, I thought those days we laid a lot of stress on ward rounds. Ward rounds could teach them extempore how to deal with the patient. And thirdly, I had a habit that I would catch any patient, put on a street lamp and ask them to eat. What is this? Tell me. This is what we assess them in examination, but never teach them. Extempore seeing the
Bedside.
patient.
Yeah.
Bedside.
Bedside
So
teaching,
that
yes.
they became very, very efficient. And what a modern and innovative other things and all they learned. So knowledge-wise, if I want to commit, any student is better than his teacher. But how to coordinate, how to apply that knowledge, how to be in practice. And third thing, was very, very strict about coming to in time. Secondly, following the ethics and the discipline. And thirdly, to be humane. I will tell an incident that also, please, I was very particular. One day I came out of my consultation and found no students were there. All crowd of patients were there, and there are no residents. I asked what happened. They said, "Sir, chale gaye hain, khana khane ke liye." I scolded them. Much years later, when I went to visit to Vizag, one of my students was there as a senior officer there, ophthalmologist. I said, I'm coming. I would like to meet you. He said, sir, come for lunch. Went to him. He, prostrated and took me to house and then said, sir, can you wait for half an hour? I'll come back. You can have lunch. I'll join afterwards. He went, came back, and then told Mr. Pandya, who was with me, he said, sir has not only taught us ophthalmology, but taught something beyond that. We are following it. What I scolded them that time, that after finishing your student have your lunch, he was following that. Whatever patient remaining, he went, saw that and came back. He said, and we are finishing, we are not asking anybody to wait. I said, यार मैं तो भूल गया बता के आप लोगों को हम लोग follow कर रहे हैं, great. So this is how you have to develop a sort of a relation with the student. And then after AFMC, my role was different. I started from 2 rooms hospital. Actually, this has not existed. There were 2 rooms in a blind women's hostel. And that blind person, Mr. Pandya, asked me to join him. I said, fine, I'm retired, I'm getting pension, so I don't need anything. I said, well, great. So twice a week we used to operate some camps. And there are 2 rooms. I could be clinically, I developed a hospital, the largest eye hospital in India, an institute. Then I would say, it was initially there was nothing, nobody there. Myself and there's one Christian was there, he came that round. Then Parikshit joined. When Parikshit wanted to come, there is no sort of vacancy. I told Mr. Pandya, look, we're going to shift to a new hospital after 2 years. With that time, we'll not have any doctors, so let us have him. He's good. So Parikshit came in, and like that, we started building the team. And they're all freshers, MS, somebody doing DMS. And then we send them for a specialty training outside. Because I knew Dr. Badrinath very well, I knew Arvind very well. So that advantage I took. I wanted to have them as short-term training. So Dr. Badrinath told me, Colonel, there's nothing in short training. So nobody learns. Let them have full training. And the girls, there's a big problem because the parents came to me and said, sir, they have to be married and they're going for 2 years. I said, look, let them go there, let them get married, let them, fall in love, I don't matter. At least let them learn the skills. That way they went. I took nobody born from anybody. They came back to me. And like that, our team developed. As a hospital developed, the team developed. And then again, the third stage came when they wanted to go internationally. We sent some people to international places also. So they came back, they become super specialists. That's how the team building was done. And all very easy. Whatever wanted, gradually we inducted the instruments, gradually we developed the specialties, and slowly, gradually, like a plant growing, it grows out there. I never owned it. I think this is very important that as a teacher, 2 things are important, I would say. One, you should always respect your student. Never give him a job and become a copy of him. Or never insult him for other than what mistake he has done. Never carry the grudge. Usko hisab khatam kar do. Again, you should be on the square. And secondly, make him what you are. Again, I would come back to the scriptures. They say every guru teaches his students, and there is a supta ichha, what they call in Marathi. There is a desire in every guru that Shishyet Parajay. Let my Shela be so big, so good, that it should one day defeat me. That means it should be big. And it happened. When Lord Parshuram and Bhishma came in front of each other, Bhishma prayed his guru, that is Lord Parshuram. And then Parshuram said, he gave Ashirwad to him and said, Shishyet Parajay. I want you to defeat me. That is my, because I have given so much of knowledge, so much of skills. That should be, Guru should not think why you are going, मैं पढ़ा नहीं रहा हूँ क्या वहाँ आगे जाके जाता है, why you want to go to conferences, कुछ ज़्यादा पढ़ाते हैं क्या, that's it. That type of a low mentality one should not have. Sorry for using this word. In many places, people don't encourage students to go and learn. Let them learn from various sources. After all, he's your student. Ultimately, he's going to give you the credit. So this is what I would say. Then third thing I would like to do, tell you one incident, anecdote I would call it. I was traveling, while I was in army, I was traveling with somebody, as a great person, Dr. Srikhande, Bombay. Dr. Srikhande was known for a bile duct surgery, pancreas surgery, and internationally very famous. So I asked him, sir, how you have become so famous? So he told me initially when I passed my post graduation in Bombay and wanted to practice, I thought I should be competent. And to become competent, he went around and saw those time, who were great. He visited them, came back, and asked his mind and said, I did not compete with these people. One day I'm going to surpass them. So she started competing with himself. He said he used to stammer, he could not talk, then he started taking photographs. He was the first person to have evidence-based medicine lectures. It was very popular. He was invited all over the world. And he said, even now, at this stage when I'm a world popular universally, I still compete with myself. So again, I would advise students, don't compete with anybody, compete with yourself. This is how I would say. And development happened, all people help me. You have to get help from all corners. So it's very, very important that you're a human resource, whether you're a teacher, whether students, colleagues, and others should move with you. Should be all capable of, with you. So then only development happens. And of course, bosses.
Sir, we have with us Prasad Valimbe online.
Good.
We would like to listen what he has to say about you.
Good.
Dr. Prasad, are you there?
Yeah. Can you
A very
hear me?
famous
Am I audible?
practitioner. Yes, very much. A
Prasad was a
well-known
very brilliant
practitioner
student.
from
You're a very
Pune, an
brilliant
avid
student.
tracker.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Prasad Valimbe from Pune. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, very much.
Well, respected teachers, MOS office bearers, and dear colleagues. First of all, let me thank MOS, Santosh, Vardhaman, and especially Dr. Naina for giving me this opportunity. Well, I'm going to speak about Colonel Dr. Deshpande, sir. And well, you might wonder that how am I qualified to talk about him? Because I was neither his official student, nor did I study in AFMC under him, nor did I do any fellowship in HV Desai, or nor did I work under him in HV Desai hospitals. Then how come I'm talking about this great teacher? Well, let me stake my claim to talk about him. Well, I still remember those times, almost 3.5 decades back. I was doing my MS, and we still remember that time there was no internet, there was no, the explosion of knowledge and everything, and we had to rely on the lectures of the great teachers like Colonel Deshpande sir and the books to pass. And we used to go to AFMC on cycle to attend his lectures. But I still remember that times sir used to teach us very passionately. And he never used to discriminate between he's from AFMC, he's from BJ Medical, or he's from Pravra. असं ते भेदभाव कधीच करायचं नाही. Actually, he was my external examiner for my MS exams. And what I liked about his style of taking examination is, if you don't answer any question, he used to give us subtle hints. And only if you have studied that subject, then only you can answer these questions. So एक्सटर्नल एक्झामिनर असला तरी सुद्धा परीक्षार्थी विद्यार्थ्यांना तणावरहित करायची त्यांची ही सरांची हातोटी खूप विलक्षण होती. एक चांगला एक इन्सिडेंट आणि एक मेमरी शेअर करतो. लेट मी स्पीक इन मराठी बिकॉज आपल्या भावना आपल्या मातृभाषेत आपण चांगल्या तऱ्हेने व्यक्त करू शकतो. मी MS परीक्षेत पहिला आलो होतो आणि तेव्हा सर आय थिंक कमला नेहरूच्या इथं पुण्यात राहायचे आणि जवळजवळ 30-35 वर्षापूर्वीचा तो काळ होता. सरांना मी पेढे घेऊन सरांच्या घरी पेढे द्यायला गेलो होतो. संध्याकाळची वेळ होती. मी सरांना भेटलो, पेढे दिले, नमस्कार केला, सरांनी आशीर्वाद दिला. सरांनी विचारले, मग प्रसाद पुढे काय करायचं ठरवलंयस? मी म्हटलं सर मला स्क्वीन खूप आवडतं. मी MS मध्ये पहिला आलो तरी सुद्धा माझे स्क्वीनचे बरेचसे कन्सेप्ट अजूनही टोटली क्लिअर नाही आहेत. मला अजून खूप शिकायचं आहे. एका क्षणाचाही विचार न करता सर म्हणले चल माझ्याबरोबर. सरांकडे तेव्हा व्हेस्पा गाडी होती. त्यांनी त्याच्या गाडीला किक मारली, मला मागं बसवलं आणि ते डायरेक्ट AFMCच्या ऑप्थॅम डिपार्टमेंटला मला घेऊन गेले. तेव्हा रात्र झाली होती. म्हणजे सगळे डिपार्टमेंटही बंद होती. सरांनी स्वतः वॉचमॅनकडनं किल्ली घेतली, डिपार्टमेंट उघडलं, लाईट्स लावले, समोर ते प्रिझम बार, सॅनॅप्टोफोर, हे स्क्रीन चॅट वगैरे बरंच काय काय होतं. सरांनी मला पुढ्यात बसवलं आणि स्क्रीन शिकवायला त्या रात्री सुरुवात केली. आणि पुढचे काही तास आम्हाला दोघांना ना तहान भुकेची पर्वा होती, ना वेळ काळाचं भान होतं. सर तल्लीनतेने शिकवत होते आणि मी आदर्शासारखं शिकत होतो. मी किती गंमत आहे ना, म्हणजे कोण कुठला काल पास झालेला मुलगा एका आपल्या एक्सटर्नल एक्झामिनरकडे जातो काय आणि शिकण्याची इच्छा व्यक्त करतो काय, आणि हा डेकोरेटेड आर्मी ऑफिसर आणि कर्मयोगी आय वुड से हेड ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट आपलं ज्ञानदानाचं पवित्र कर्तव्य निस्वार्थीपणाने वेळ काळाचं बंधन विसरून आपुलकीने आणि प्रेमाने करतो काय. माझ्यासाठी हा एक खरं तर विलक्षण अनुभव होता. स्कंद पुराणात ना एक गुरूंविषयी खूप सुंदर श्लोक आहे. भवारण्य प्रविष्टस्य दिग्मोहो भ्रांत चेतसा येन संदर्शिता पंथः तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः. Well, it means salutations to my revered guru who showed me the right path to my confused mind when I entered this outside world. Of course, after that, I did my fellowship from Arvind Hospital. I stayed there for 3 years. I was a senior medical officer. I did my advanced fellowship in USA under renowned strabismologist Dr. Kushner. But I feel the early foundations of my career were strongly laid down by Colonel Deshpande, sir. Sir, take a bow for what you have done for me, sir.
Thank you, Prasad.
खूपच चांगला अनुभव माझ्यासाठी तो होता. आणि असं म्हणतात की सर आई वडील आणि गुरूंचं ऋण आपण कधी फेडू शकत नाही. पण सर तुमचे आदर्श, तुमच्यासारख्या कुलकर्णी सर असतील, मोटवाने मॅडम असतील, तुम्ही असाल, पण तुमचे आदर्श, तुमची शिकवण, तुमचे संस्कार, तुमचे आचार, तुमचे विचार आम्ही आमच्या पुढच्या पिढीला आणि पुढच्या स्टुडंटला नक्की पास ऑन करू आणि तुमच्या सगळ्या ऋणातनं अंशतः का होईना उतराई व्हायचा आम्ही नक्की प्रयत्न करू. सरांविषयी कृतज्ञता व्यक्त करताना 1-2 कवीवर बाबू बोरकरांच्या ओळी सांगतो आणि थांबतो. ते म्हणतात, जळापरी मन निर्मळ ज्यांचे स्नेहासम पाजळले हो, जळापरी मन निर्मळ ज्यांचे स्नेहासम पाजळले हो, आपत्काली अनदीनांवर घन होऊनी जे वळले हो, जीवन त्यांना कळले हो. मी पण ज्यांचे पक्व फळापरी सहजपणाने गळले हो, जीवन त्यांना कळले हो, जीवन त्यांना कळले हो. धन्यवाद.
सुंदर
थँक्यू
सुंदर डॉक्टर प्रसाद.
प्रसाद खूप छान बोलला. आय रिअली लाईक इट. आणि सरांचं आउट ऑफ वे जाऊन जे असं टीचिंग केलंय ते खरंच म्हणजे हॅट्स ऑफ टू यू सर.
हॅट्स ऑफ टू यू सर, सिरियसली.
दिस इज व्हेरी, म्हणजे हे खूप कमी टीचर्स मध्ये बघायला
निस्वार्थ निस्वार्थ जे पण आहे.
एक आय वुड लाईक टू, मला हे सांगतो, लोक मला विचारायचे, सर तुम्ही काय कमवलं, तुम्ही आर्मीत होता, इकडे होता की प्रायव्हेट वाटत तर केली नाही मी काही. मला स्वतःला मी श्रीमंत समजतो, कारण जिथं जातो जर कुणीतरी एक स्टुडंट मिळतो मला, सर मी तुमचा विद्यार्थी आहे, आणि दॅट इज आय थिंक द ग्रेटेस्ट प्लेजर आय गॉट. Wherever I go. One day I'll tell you, instead I went to Thiruvalla, a God-forsaken place in Kerala. कारण मी 30-35 हजाराचा स्टडी प्लॅन केला, तर जात असताना असं शिळा उतरत होतो, वरून एक पोरगा वरून एक येत होता केरळामध्ये. तो पाया पडला, म्हणलं सर मी तुमचं स्टुडंट आहे. कुठेतरी म्हणजे भेटलो दिलंय. पण हे अप्थर्मॉलॉजी असं स्मॉल सब्जेक्ट, we take very few classes as undergraduate. I can understand, fine. But even as an undergraduate, if somebody remembers that, I think you have done your job correctly. Even I see, as a director, DGs and other things, after retirement, I know some men to get together and all. A DG walked in, and he said, "Sir, do you remember? I don't think you remember me, but you have taught us very well. I can still today tell you what is the difference between David Ratnapati and Ratnapati." So I think you should do your job passionately well. If I'm not taking time, one small incident, there is one student of UG, underground, undergraduate student. He became a director general recently, and then suddenly he remembered that he would like to meet me. Then he asked me, I was not in Pune, then I got to Bhopal. He said, I'm no more a director of HSI nowadays, I retired. I'm working as a consultant to Bhopal Hospital. So he asked me, and somehow we missed. Then one day he requested me, sir, I want to meet you. I would like to have quiet dinner with you. Director General of Armed Forces, medical science is a big thing. He came, he said that day he's not going to meet anybody. Me and my wife had a dinner together. After 30-40 years, like Prasad, if somebody remembers, I think you've done a job. It's acid test. So I think we have to really give whatever, knowledge is contemporary. Knowledge keeps on increasing. Whatever knowledge we had at that time, contemporary knowledge, we get them. आणि इच्छा सद्भावनेनं लोकांना मोठं केलं. जे आपल्या हातून म्हणतात ना, एक म्हणजे आय लर्न दिस फ्रॉम very great person, Dr. V from Madurai. He had a habit of loud thinking. Whenever you go, he would call people, start telling him, असं करायचे का, तसं पाहिजे का, आणि you just humility. इथं आठवतं मी एकदा गेलो होतो याला मदुराईला, आणि he wanted me to join Arvind. I could not join. Because I could. It was written on me to make HVDSI hospital. I could not join him, but he came twice. So when I went to him last to ask Madam, can I meet Dr. V? He said, no, he's not well. He's on saline and all, and better avoid. I said, fine. Evening, I got a frantic call from Madam Nachar. Colonel, Dr. V wants to meet you. Otherwise, I went, we had talked, he blessed me. Just 2 days before he passed away. Then while coming, I was bending and tying my shoelace. I could do that, no? So Dr. V observed, he said, Colonel, you can still bend down. I said, whole life, sir, I have been otherwise also bending down. You have to be whatever you are. In front of the whole world, you have to be modest.
Yeah.
झुकना चाहिए.
Sir, you are not only a good teacher, but you have raised this HVDSI from scratch. We know that. So you are also a good entrepreneur. Yeah.
We have a video of Dr. Kuldeep Dole. Sir, Dr. Kuldeep Dole यांनी आपल्याला एक व्हिडिओ पाठवला आहे. Mr. Jain, Rahul ji, can you play the video from? Yeah, please. Thank you. Yeah, he has something to say.
At the outset, I am thankful to MOS for giving me an opportunity to talk about my teacher, my guru, and the person who made a significant impact in my life, in my professional life, I can say, as well as in my personal life, Colonel Madan Deshpande sir. He came into my life in 2001 when I was just freshly passed out MS student, looking for an attachment to learn, to understand the nuances of ophthalmology. And he, being a AFMC professor, he was our first choice, being a part of Pune. So I joined here as a fellow, and from the day one, I realized that this person is not only an ophthalmologist, but he's a spiritual person. He's a person with a lot of innovation, integration, and lot of ideas which always used to come into his mind, just like a child always wants to explore new things in life. Because of his enthusiasm, the team, we call it as the Lagan team of HVDSI Hospital, was built in a short period of time, and the institute came into existence. During all his life, he put people as his first priority, and developing students into a fine technicians as well as fine consultants was his always an endeavor, for which he gave us a lot of exposure in India, abroad, as well as I extensively traveled with him across India. Through this, I realized that he led a very disciplined life through his army career, as well as when he was part of HVDSI. He always was a very disciplined person. His discipline and his way of administration was little different than the conventional corporate life, where he always treated everyone as his family. And that's why everyone used to feel him to be a father figure, and that brought him a lot of, I can say, a lot of motivation, as well as the family bond increased, and we became, if you look at people who are working here, we always stood there for last 20 years shoulder to shoulder. During his, I can say that during his medical director's position, we achieved greater heights, as well as we achieved lot of recognition across India because of his goodwill that he had created through his AFMC days and through his Vision 2020 presidency days. Because of that, our approach to any institution was very welcoming, and we used to feel very proud that we are working with H.V. Desai, and everybody used to ask, are you working with Colonel Madan Deshpande? And this legend, I can say, has brought about lot of changes in community, the way community ophthalmology is practiced, the way institutions are run, and I wish sir a very good life and healthy life ahead. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Dr.
Kuldev.
Kuldev Roy. Yes. Uh, so we also take this opportunity to congratulate sir for his Lifetime Achievement Award for Vision 2020 program from the President of India recently. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable input.
There are
And now I would like,
two awards announced by Vision 2020. One is Dronacharya Award that goes to Chitiyal, and
okay,
Lifetime
sir.
is going to me.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. You are a role model for us, sir. We have kept Dr. Kulkarni, sir, waiting for long. Sir, are you there?
Yeah.
Sir, I'll start with
Sure.
one question. How did you balance between your private practice and teaching responsibilities?
Yeah, basically, when I joined as an honorary professor at Government Medical College, Mirrors, the problem was I was so new to Sangli and Mirrors that I didn't know the roads also. And then because my father was a judge, so I didn't want to impose on him for the amount which will be probably required to stay afloat, getting good amount of money for starting the practice. So naturally, practice was something which was essential. But then I realized that we worked with Professor Ayachit sir. He was there for almost 6 years when I joined as honorary professor. And probably it's a unique example in our state that the honorary professor and the full-time professor, we had too much in common as far as the goodness of the patients was concerned and the teaching of students was concerned. Ajit sir was one of the real masters in teaching. And he sometimes used to scold me, Ki, you are an honorary. You can't come before me to the ward. I used to say, sir, there is no practice. What can I do sitting over there? Coming one or two patients a day probably is my only practice. So why not work in civil hospital? The question was, people used to tell me that almost for 5-6 hours every day in the morning you are in the medical college. So how are you going to develop your practice? My chartered accountant used to say ki you have to slightly show more income for the income tax officer to realize that you are really a practicing doctor, because it looks very bad. So the question was that balancing the attachment as an honorary and doing a practice, because I was new here, was a bit difficult job in the initial stages. I still remember the first year of my honorary position, the students came to ask for the contribution for Ganpati festival. And then as an honorary, they naturally thought that we are rich people. So they asked for 500 rupees that time. This I'm talking about 1982. And you will realize that my loan which I had taken from the bank, the monthly installment was 500 rupees. So I said that this is too much of a thing. And then they thought that, okay, you are not even giving money for the festival like Ganpati. So initially it was difficult. That's true. And then my hospital was in Miraj. It's almost 12 kilometers from civil hospital. Then I had to travel on Luna, and then it used to probably stop in between. But then it was fun working in civil hospital because we really could get professional satisfaction by working for the patients who used to come with full faith. In private practice, if we used to advise you will need cataract surgery, the first response was, okay, then give a chit, because people only knew Dr. Paranspe. So why don't you give a chit to Paranspe? I mean, it was probably unheard of that somebody else can also do a cataract surgery. That was the situation that time. The anesthetists were not there. There was no single anesthetist in Mirrors that time. So operating on pediatric patients was out of question. Gradually, the thing changed. But another 6-7 years down the line, I realized that not only I have to progress, but my students also have to progress. And as Motwani madam were saying that it's very difficult to get anything in the government setups. I remember there was nothing in the department excepting torches and few instruments. And then we realized that we had to set up something for this. My dear friend, Mr. A.D. Deshpande, who was the Lions president that time, then we started that Lions Snap Eye Hospital with all equipments so that the students can come and do the surgeries, do the lasers and everything. It was difficult to raise so much of money every time. So we really started a practice of group practice. So initially we had around 27 people who contributed to start laser center. You will be surprised nowadays that in the entire Western Maharashtra, apart from Pune, there was no green laser also available. So we started it with all these people. Frankly speaking, we didn't know how to do that. And we were never taught in our undergraduate students to do a retinal screening properly. So Dr. Kopikar and Dr. Kamdar used to visit every month and teach us also. The point was that students used to stay around me because I was the professor and used to tell me, sir, wo दिखाओ क्या दिख रहा है? So show me that lesion. Then I used to say कि अरे मेरे को तो दिखने दो, फिर आपको दिखाएंगे. So that is how we started evolving ourselves. The Lions Lab Hospital was one of the first hospital which started a FECO training program in Maharashtra. And we were extremely lucky to have Colonel Deshpande working with us. And he actually made the foundation of that institute by really making people feel that, okay, this is something where you can learn. There was one subject or one thing which usually people used to say when they had passed their MS, sir, wo cutting kitna milega? And that is how Colonel Sahib and we used to tell them, this is not for cutting institute, this is for learning. You have to respect the patient, then only you will be able to learn. So we started the training programs there. I still remember more than 200 people got FECO training at that institute and n number of people for SICS also, including the government people. The questions came was because there was one advantage that I was the honorary professor and there was no full-time professor for almost 12 to 13 years. So whenever we didn't get anything in the hospital, I used to go to the dean and tell them, sir, either you give me this or I'm going to put a lock on the department. And then they used to budge, okay, chalo le lo yaar, wagera. So that is how we tried to manage the things. Once we started a Lions Lab Hospital, and obviously all the equipments were there. And the funny thing was, before we started Lions Lab, we had good students like Parikshit and Milind Keledar and everybody. I'm proud to say that 3 of my students are either past or present president of MOS. And when we wanted to start Lions Lab, obviously medical officers was not that much was the required because I used to go in the afternoon. Dr. Sagar Joglekar and Dr. Bhakre, and afterwards Dr. Thora. These were the people who really made that in the good surgical setup. I still remember we had one CME, and because heavy rains from Bombay, people could not come to Mirrors. Suhas Haldipurkar and other people were just stranded at Thane only. Means they slept at Dadar, and in the morning they got up at Thane. So we were, problem was that how can we conduct this CME now? More than 100 people had come from all around. Then Shirish Thorat and Joglekar told me, sir, wo hum karte hain. They were doing their fellowships. So they said,
Dr. Shirish is here. He's here.
Achha, he's here?
Dr. Shirish is online, yeah.
Okay. He said, उसमें क्या है वो लोगों को थोड़ी दिखता है कौन ऑपरेट कर रहा है. See, that was the level of confidence. And once in the evening, casually he came and told me, sir, वो आज जरा मेरे फादर का ऑपरेशन किया, अंकल का किया। बोला पागल है क्या तू, अभी फेलोशिप कर रहा है? आर यू नॉट सपोज टू कॉल मी? नहीं नहीं सर, कैटरेक्ट और आए हुए तो था, और कुछ नहीं था। Now I realize that what we thought that time was something which was routine was absolutely far from routine when you think about all other places where people used to come out with their degrees and not getting enough surgical work. Now, this is something which we definitely provided, but of course, with the likes of Kanal Sahib and other people, and my dear friend Edi Deshpande, who is no more now, the doctors used to actually go to him for getting something rather than coming to me, because somehow all the students have created some sort of image of ANK sir. He was say वाघाची नख म्हणला ना, त्याच्याही पेक्षा की अरे नाही नाही. म्हणजे आय रिमेंबर माय मुकादम ऑल्सो यूज टू टेल द हाउसकीपर की ठीक साफ करो ने. The thing was that I still remember just 2 years back, our civil surgeon here, I went for some work to him, and then he said, कि sir वो he got up. I said, why you are standing up? नहीं वो अभी तक डर लगता है तुम्हारे इसमें, हम लोग बैठते थे तो we were used to get afraid of you. I said, if all of you were so much afraid of me, how come nobody told me? Anil Deshpande sir has his nephew, Dr. Rahul Deshpande, working with us here. And then once he came back just as a visiting person to Lansdowne Hospital and took my car. And then I told him that, okay, that car is standing and you go with that. And he had 15 years of working with me till that time. He saw it from the thing and then said, oh, Chautish. No, no. So what happened? He said, no, we used to have an internal communication system that whenever anybody sees 3400 vehicle coming, the message used to go, okay, chalo, chalo, sir aane wale karke. In between, even Parikshit told me once that we used to keep people or the doctors who had, sorry, the patients who had some problems into one room, lock them up till your round used to be over. So I don't know, but in spite of that, I think I never scolded. I remember one of my students from Thane, Prachi, she told me in one conference कि सर वो सब लोग इतना डराते थे आपको देख के, बट देन वी रियलाइज कि आप वैसे डांटते नहीं हो. ऐसे नहीं, मैं डांटता तो नहीं हूँ, लेकिन ठीक है, आप नहीं पढ़ोगे तो प्रॉब्लम तो होगा, आप पढ़ोगे तो नहीं होगा. The point is, as all our great teachers used to say, see, we learned from people like Ishwar Chandra, Professor Dua, and Sulba Deshpande, madam from Nagpur. So we feel that if they were strict and told us how to do the thing, we at least have to see that the people who are taking knowledge from us has to prosper and do everything good. I proudly used to say that whatever students who have come down to us, particularly in Lions Lab Hospital and even Bharati Medical College, they will have only one problem once they go out of the institute. That only problem will be about income tax problem. I don't think they will have any ophthalmological problem once they go out. Second thing I used to always say that, see, you have to have a good interpersonal relationship with everybody. That is getting now sorely lacking. The kind of advertising, the kind of name calling, see, that is for politicians because nobody expects anything from them. But we used to tell our students that, see, you have to have a level playing field and respect others. Even if he has made some mistake, that's fine. Inform him rather than telling the patient. And when we talked about these consumer codes, why did they flourish in the initial stages? Because we were people responsible for talking bad about the other people. Now, if you respect others and if you tell the patient also that this is something which can occur. I still remember Dr. Chandresh Desai telling the patient who used to have some complication, he used to say, ते स्वयंपाकात कधीतरी मीठ कमी जास्त नाही का पडत, तर थोडंसं झालंय, त्याचं काय आपण पुढच्या वेळेला चांगलं करू. इवन डॉक्टर लिमे I remember one patient who had come, and then he had lost one eye. Other eye was to be operated. I said, we'll operate. He said, no, I'm going back to Dr. Lime. I said, Arey, you already lost another eye. He said, no, but he told me there was a mistake from my side. Next time I will take care. Can you even imagine somebody owing up this kind of responsibility? Now, once we go through that kind of atmosphere, we try to inculcate that in our students also, saying that you owe it to your responsibility and you are going to become great. There is no problem at all. You because if you really focus on your ophthalmology and as a good person, nobody is going to stop you from getting successful. And success doesn't mean that you are going to be filthy rich. Success is that you can sleep in the night properly. You can remember the patients whom you have done good, and the patients where there were some problems, you will remember them for not only for a few months, but for years together. And that is how the things should happen. And as I said, any teacher, like you say that, okay, legions and everything, that is another word of saying antics, that your job is now over. But my point is that as long as the students become great, the indirectly the teacher is called as a great teacher. There are a lot of people who are really good and who are great, but it is the students who make them great. It's not a coming out like things. Yes. And if, like Colonel Saib said, if we go somewhere and nobody avoids you, I still remember telling somebody in any conference, if one of my students at least tries to avoid me, I will stop going to ophthalmology conference and stop practicing. Because that is the confidence which I have that I have not done anything bad for any of my students. Yes, I must have scolded, I must have told them, but then it once they realize it that it was for their own good, I don't think anybody has that kind of grudge against a teacher who is trying to teach them something by the bottom of their heart. It's not a question of doing surgery, it's not a question of imparting knowledge, but it's a question of imparting what you believe in the world. And that is what I feel makes us better because our students are doing much better than us. And as Colonel Sahib said, if they defeat us, in the words, if they become better than us, then obviously we have achieved whatever we started as a teacher doing the same thing. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk.
One thing I would like to add, सरांनी अर्जुन निर्माण केले. प्रॅक्टिकल इतकं शिकवलं की त्यांच्याकडे जो जो हात त्यांच्याकडे आला तो अर्जुन म्हणूनच बाहेर पडलेला आहे. And that's one second he has made, he's a great institution makers. लायन्स नॅब हॉस्पिटल आहे, पुण्याचं आहे, इतर आहे. आणि मोस्ट प्रॅक्टिकल मॅन. लोक काय घाबरायचे माहित नाही, but they all love you all right. I can tell you the internal thing as it. पण they love you.
Thank you,
Sir,
sir.
actually, by starting the training institute at Miraj, you have made so many students. That is the first institute in the Maharashtra, I think across India, who have made so many phaco surgeons across Maharashtra. They are practicing very well. So we are so proud of you, sir.
So nice.
Without even caring, he first taught phaco to Miraj.
But I like his cap. That's it.
He became competitors himself by teaching Miraj people also.
Yes, thanks.
We have both Dr. Parikshit Gupte and Dr. Shirish Thorat online. Yes, who would like to go first? Both are seen.
Shirish is my senior by year, so I think
Okay, whatever. Yes, please, Dr. Shirish Thorat, our incoming president, MOS.
Thank you,
Welcome.
Madam, and thank you, MOS. Actually, it's an honor for me to speak about sir, who is not only a teacher for us, but he is beyond that. And words fall short to describe his personality. Madan Kulhar sir is popularly known as Dr. ANK. He's our guiding force, a mentor, and true source of inspiration. And beyond academics, sir has taught us many lessons of life, how to face the challenges, and how to stay calm in a complicated situations. I was lucky to have a student in 1994. He was my teacher, PG teacher that time. and I was closely associated and worked with him for almost 6 years in GMC Mirrors and Lions Naval Hospital. Actually, sir is a Raymond the perfect man. His way of teaching is different, very lucidly and very simply. He taught his lesson to all of his students, and I still remember all his lessons from UG and PG days. Not only in theory, his surgeries are, a treat to watch. Gentle tissue handling, how to handle the cornea basically that time during that intercapsular and extracapsular days, how to respect the tissues.
Mhm.
And
Right.
that was very, that was all treat to watch. Now, even today, his surgery is, treat to watch, ma'am. And I am lucky to learn all types of intercapsular, right from the Daurugas and cryo and
Cryo
tumbling to
extraction. Yeah.
yes, and tumbling and then extracapsular, then
Right.
screen, doses, everything. And is
Right.
harvesting of his, the facial art for sling of ptosis. It was really amazing.
Mhm.
Actually, I was not knowing sir has taken gynecology for his 6 months. So no wonder he has started giving delivery of nucleus to his student in 3rd month also. In,
Premature delivery.
yeah, in first trimester only, he used to, give his student nucleus delivery, and by the end of 9 months, his student, is very thorough with all types of implants. And there are lots of memories, sir. Plus, ANK is Nami Kafi. Still remember his each and every round of, in our ward. ते म्हणतात ना छडी लागे छमछम विद्याई घमघम त्यांच्या फक्त नजरेच्या छड्याच आमच्या आम्हासाठी काफी होत्या. सरांनी कधी आम्हाला रागवलं नाही, फक्त नजर फिरवली की आम्ही सगळं समजून जायचो. Right from the JR to the professor of ophthalmology, everyone used to be on toes for almost 3 hours during his, ward rounds. And no compromise for patient's care at all. And त्यांचं ते प्रिन्सिपल होतं. No compromise. But outside the premises of the hospital and all these things, he used to be our friend. Not only he is guiding us ophthalmology, but still he is guiding our personal problems also. And still is in the same road. Every one of us feel immensely proud of you, sir. त्यांनी त्यांची पायरी शिक्षक म्हणून कधीच सोडली नाही. इतर लोक बघताना त्याचा आम्हाला खूप अभिमान वाटतो. सर, व्हॉट फॉल शॉर्ट टू एक्सप्लेन व्हॉट यू हॅव डन फॉर अस. आणि मी नेहमी म्हणतो, मी तुम्हाला कधी थँक्यू म्हणणार नाही, बिकॉज आय वॉन्टेड टू बी इन युअर डेप फॉर एव्हर. आणि
क्या
एक
बात
आणखी
है, क्या बात है.
आणि नैना मॅडम आणखी एक मी सांगू इच्छितो.
हा.
सर, सरांच्या मिसेस शिवाय म्हणजे अपर्णा मॅडमच्या कधीच कम्प्लीट होऊ शकत नाही. अँड शी is equally caring and she all concerned about his student. म्हणजे अपर्णा मॅडम केअरिंग फॉर ANK स्टुडंट. आणि जेव्हा तुम्ही मिरजला किंवा सांगलीला जाल, यू कॅनॉट अफोर्ड टू मिस डिलिशियस उपमा कुक बाय अपर्णा मॅडम. तुम्ही जेव्हा जाल तेव्हा त्यांच्या हातचा उपमा खाल.
Yes, I was lucky. I had the opportunity. डॉक्टर शिरीष, मी DNB इन्स्पेक्टर म्हणून गेले होते. मला पोटभर खाऊ घातलं मॅडमनी. I agree.
आणि सर, शेवटचं एक सांगतो. तुम्ही म्हटलं की यू आर न्यू इन मिरर्स अँड यू इव्हन डिडंट नो द रोड्स ऑफ मिरर्स. बट थँक्यू सर, यू हॅव शोन अस ऑल रोड्स ऑफ ऑप्थॅल्मॉलॉजी अँड अ पाथ ऑफ लाईफ. थँक्यू सर.
मस्त.
He's a man with principles, actually.
Yes.
Dr. Parikshit? Are you there, sir? Yeah,
I
can see
don't
you
think I
now.
can speak more. We get emotional. But a few things, sir always taught us to be very, very careful about patients' vision and the quality of cataract surgery that we did. One of my co-residents had a thesis on small incision cataract surgery. And in those days, there was no visco. We would do CCC under air, or only one visco would be used for 8-10 surgeries. So obviously, the cornea sometimes would not be that good. So whenever he would have the round, and if somebody had too much of corneal edema, we would have to hide those patients so that, as Shirish said, त्यांची नजर आमच्यावर पडू नये आणि भीतीने आम्ही
रूम मध्ये लॉक करून
जेव्हा
ठेवा.
वॉर्डात यायचे, आम्ही पेशंटला ओपीडीत पाठवून द्यायचो. मग ते ओपीडीत यायला लागले की आम्ही त्यांना वॉर्डात पाठवून द्यायचो. तर एकदा या ट्रान्झिटमध्ये त्यांनी आम्हाला
Exemplary.
पकडलं होतं आणि मग आमची फारच गोची झाली होती. सरांनी आम्हाला खूप असं प्रेमाने म्हटलं होतं, हो तुम्ही किती नवीन सर्जरी शिका, पण तो कॉर्निया आहे, त्या कॉर्नियाकडे जरा लक्ष द्या, त्याला बघा. And he would always be very particular. I remember we were in Sangli, he was in Miraj. He had a very busy private practice. But even for my dissertation, my discussion in those days, we had to write it and type it. So he saw and checked my discussion 6 times. So 6 times I had to go to Miraj to show it to him. I thought now he'll be happy, but every time he will find something. And we had to. But then he made us do that, and that helped us a lot, greatly helped us a lot.
No errors. There shouldn't be any
No
errors in
errors,
anything.
looking after patients. That was, I
Yeah.
think, because he was in private practice also, or that is how he is, a perfectionist. He would want us to give the best of the care to the patient, whatever be the patient, free, paid. Even when we would go on Sundays to do surgeries in Lions, then in those days we would take half hour, 1 hour to do a surgery. So by 4:30 in the evening, there would be still a lot of surgeries left. So on a Sunday afternoon, then at 4 o'clock, Sagar would phone him, and then he would come and he would finish the rest of the surgeries, even though that was perhaps the only half-day holiday for him. And even after his work at 8 or 8:30 in the evening, that is the time he would take out to teach us. And we had a great
Dedicated
time.
teacher.
Yeah, it was like a family, like Motwani ma'am was saying, the whole department, they were hardly अशी त्याच्यात कुरबुरी किंवा हे काही नव्हतं, कारण की कामच इतकं होतं की सकाळी
वेळ
6
नाही.
पासून रात्री 11 पर्यंत सगळ्यांनाच खूप काम करायला लागायचं. त्यामुळे त्याच्यात खूप भांडाभांडी व्हायची किंवा काही हे व्हायचा कधी चान्सच नव्हता.
That's good.
आणि ते स्वतःही तेवढं काम करायचे म्हणून आम्हालाही करायला लागायचं. म्हणजे इनफॅक्ट तेव्हा मी देशपांडे सरांना पहिल्यांदा भेटलो होतो, तेव्हा सर एक्झामिनर म्हणून येणार होते. मला जॉईन होऊन मला वाटतं 2 का 3च महिने झाले होते. आणि योगेश जो आमचा रजिस्ट्रार होता, त्यांनी मला आणि शिरीषला काम दिलं होतं देशपांडे सरांना बस स्टँडवरनं घेऊन यायचं. तर तेव्हा त्या बस स्टँडवर यायचे, तर आम्ही पुण्याचा जो फलाट आहे त्याच्यासमोर बसून कधी नव्हे तर आम्हाला सकाळी 9 वाजता मुभा मिळाली होती वॉर्डातनं, म्हणून आम्ही चहा पीत बराच वेळ बसलो होतो किंवा आता पुण्याची बस येईल आणि आम्हाला एक्झामिनर दिसतील. तर 1 बस आली, 2 बस आली, ते दिसलेच नाही. मग शिरीष म्हटलं आता 10, 10:30 झाले, परीक्षा तर सुरू झाली असेल, आता काय करायचं. म्हणून तिथं तेव्हा तर ते STD बूथ होते, तिथनं त्यांनी सांगली सिव्हिलला फोन लावला, तिथनं तो वॉर्डात गेला. तर तिथनं तो रजिस्ट्रार आमच्यावर योग्य ओरडला, तुम्ही कुठे भटकत बसलाय म्हणे गेले 2 तास. एक्झामिनर केव्हाच आले, परीक्षाही सुरू झाली आणि तुम्ही
Oh
दोघंच
God.
नाही.
Oh God.
तर तेव्हा सर नेहमी अक्कलकोटला जायचे, तर ते अक्कलकोटहून अग्निहोत्र करून त्या बसनी वेगळे आले होते. ते स्वतःच गेले
Oh,
आणि
you
परीक्षा
missed
पण
him.
सुरू झाली आणि
Oh.
बोथ ऑफ अस वेर मिसिंग इन ऍक्शन.
Oh.
पण जसं शिरीषने सांगितलं, फर्स्ट वी वुड बी व्हेरी व्हेरी स्कॅर्ड ऑफ आवर प्रोफेसर, एक्स्ट्रीमली इन सम वेज वी स्टिल आर. And but it was fun. We learned a lot, not just
Yes.
about eyes and ophthalmology, but about life in general. And we are eternally grateful for that. Without
Sir is a man of ethics also, because one of his lecture he told us that पेशंटचं जर रिफ्रॅक्शन चुकलं आपल्याकडून आणि त्यांनी चष्मा बनवला तरी त्याला आपल्या खिशातून पैसे दिले पाहिजे, त्याचं आपल्याकडून चूक झाली तर. दॅट इज रिअली मीन्स अमेझिंग की somebody is following that type of ethics. Salute to you, sir.
Naina, can I just take a minute or two to share one memory of Kulkarni sir?
हो
If
Yeah,
you
yeah,
permit.
surely, sure. Yes,
हो
yes.
हो हो प्लीज.
नमस्कार NK सर. मला आत्ता जस्ट एक आठवण आली, तुम्हाला ते शेअर करतो. देशपांडे सरांसारखाच आय वॉज नेव्हर अ स्टुडंट ऑफ कुलकर्णी सर. मी मिरजेला कधी त्यांच्या हातनं कधी सर्जरी शिकली नाही किंवा मी कधी त्यांच्याबरोबर कामही केली नाही. पण काही गुरुतुल्य व्यक्तिमत्व असे असते की ते भेटले की त्यांच्या पाया पडून त्यांचा आशीर्वाद घ्यावा असं वाटतं. आणि
बरोबर.
सरही असे आहेत की त्यांचा स्टुडंट असो वा नसो, मी कधीही त्यांना भेटलो की प्रत्येक वेळेला मला काहीतरी ते नवीन शिकवतात. एकदा सांगलीला मी एक लेक्चर द्यायला गेलो होतो. लेक्चर झाल्यानंतरही तुझ्या स्लाइड्स तू अजून चांगल्या कशा बनवू शकशील, पेशंटला तू अजून कशा चांगल्या पद्धतीने ट्रीट करू शकशील, हे प्रत्येकाला त्याचा एक वस्तुपाठ मला ते घालून द्यायचे. एक छोटासा इन्सिडेंट सांगतो. मी अरविंदमधनंच फेलोशिप करून परत आलो होतो. अरविंद मधले रोज 1000 पेशंट बघणे आणि रोजचे 50-60 ऑपरेशन करून जे थकायला व्हायचं त्यातनं नुकताच बाहेर आलो होतो. लग्नही झालं होतं, बॅचलर लाईफ संपून घरचं अन्न खायला मिळत होतं. तर पुण्यात प्रॅक्टिसही चांगली सेट झाली होती, काही पब्लिकेशन झाली होती, MOSचं अवॉर्डही मिळालं होतं आणि सुखवस्तूपणाची बरीचशी लक्षणं शरीरावरही दिसायला लागली होती. वजनही बरंच वाढलं होतं. अशाच एका MOS कॉन्फरन्सला माझ्या मते 25-30 वर्ष झाली असतील त्या गोष्टीला. सरांची भेट झाली. प्रत्येक वेळेला सरांना भेटलं की सर कायम आपुलकीने विचारतात, "काय करतोयस? काय करतात?" कौतुक करतात नेहमी. माझ्या अचीव्हमेंट्स त्यांना सांगितल्या आणि सरांच्या डोळ्यात माझं कौतुक अगदी ओसंडून वाहत होतं. पण शिरीष म्हणला तसं सरांच्या तीक्ष्ण नजरेतनं माझं वाढलेलं वजन काही सुटलं नाही. त्यांनी त्यांनी माझ्या पोटाच्या चरबीचं असं टायर पकडलं हाताने आणि मला विचारलं, "प्रसाद, बाकी सगळं छान आहे रे, पण हे काय आहे? आता तू तरुण आहेस. पण पुढील अनेक वर्ष पण तुला चांगलं काम करायचंय. त्यामुळे स्वतःच्या तब्येतीकडे जरा लक्ष दे." आणि जरा थोडं हवेत असणारं माझं विमान जरा जमिनीवर आलं. अक्षरशः 25-30 वर्ष झाली असतील या गोष्टीला. पण सर त्या दिवसापासून कितीही कंटाळलो असो, कितीही दमलो असो, तरी मी व्यायाम कधी चुकवला नाही. आणि आता सांगायला खरंच आनंद होतो, की आता मी 55 क्रॉस करून वयाच्या 60कडे मार्गक्रमण करतोय. पण या वयातही अजूनही 16-16 तास न थकता काम करू शकतो. या वयातही दऱ्याखोऱ्यात आणि डोंगरात ट्रेकिंग करू शकतो. आणि ह्याचं बरंच श्रेय तुम्ही योग्य वेळी माझ्या कान उपटण्याला आहे.
क्या बात
So
है.
we are quite fortunate to have teachers like
खरं.
Deshpande sir or N. Kulkarni sir who not only taught us ophthalmology but the various life lessons. And we
Yes.
owe everything to them. Thank
डॉक्टर
you, sir,
धन्य
everyone.
धन्य ते
आणि
गुरु आणि
स्टुडंट लाईफ
धन्य
मध्ये
धन्य ते
नाही,
शिक्षक.
आता पण शिकवत असतात ते भेटल्यानंतर. काही ना काही
हो.
वी लर्न फ्रॉम देम.
I think Dr.
Yes, yes.
Madan Deshpande sir wants
One
to say
sentence
something.
I would like to talk
Yes,
about
sir.
Dr. Kulkarni. Many of us, we do not have courage to say right or wrong to a person. This is courage of conviction. Dr. Kulkarni has got a courage of conviction to say you are not right.
He
That's
will
what
call spade a spade.
we say.
समोर.
ते तो पुष्कळ लोकांत तो नसतो. तो त्यांच्या त्या काळाचे त्याचे वडील जज होते. नागपूरला आयाशीत म्हणा किंवा ईश्वरचंद्रा म्हणा त्या वृत्तीचे लोक होते. ते त्यात ते आलं ते. He inherited from his teachers and his father. So he's a strict judge, but very benevolent judge.
No, and another thing is, of course, Kulkarni is a student, but I have worked with Deshpande sir also for almost 12 years. So that way, we would always, at least I would, and perhaps Shirish, we would be very scared of Kulkarni sir. But that way, we were never very scared of Deshpande sir. He was always like a father figure
Father
and a
figure.
friend.
Yeah.
आणि
Yeah.
त्यांना आम्ही अग्निहोत्र एक्झामिनरला फिरवायचं काम असतं हाऊसमनकडे, तर सरांना अग्निहोत्र मंदिरात घेऊन जायला लागायचं. त्यांच्याकडनं अग्निहोत्र शिकलो आणि एवढे वर्ष करतोय. आणि दॅट वे ही हॅज ऑलवेज गिवन मी अँड आय थिंक एव्हरीबडी हू वर्कड ॲट HV देसाई a full liberty to do everything you wanted as long as you did it for the patient's benefit. And there was another thing that was in him is that he was very passionate about community work and seeing to it that the poorest or the last person in the line also got very good care. So that is one thing. That way, Deshpande sir was never very, what shall we say, he was more always for community work. He never had that much for private practice. But he always, that thing that we should do the best in all that we want for a patient. So they rugno devo bhava म्हणून. And as a young team, yes, we were given the independence to do like practically anything or everything as long as it was for the good of the patient. That is something that really stayed with us. And of course, because he was in AFMC, because he had seen so much of the world, his contacts, this for doing research and publications and presentations, that is something that he really taught us and it helped us hugely.
Parikshit, in making our HV Desai, Parikshit has a lion's share.
Yes.
I would like to say that if Parikshit was not there, I would not have been able to do what I could do.
Yeah.
Wow, what a partnership.
Yes.
Dr. Vardhaman, can
Yes.
we take one question or do you want to wind it up? Anamika has got one question, one
Yeah,
final
one question.
question.
Yeah, one question we can take, ma'am. Yes, of course.
Yeah. Anamika wanted to ask one. Anamika, are you there? I think she's
You're
muted.
muted.
She's muted. I can see that. Yeah, she's there, but
कुलकर्णी
muted.
सर,
Yeah.
कुलकर्णी
Kulkarni sir.
सर,
Yeah,
मी
she's
इतकं
there.
आता ऐकलंय तुमच्याबद्दल, एवढं सगळं ऐकलंय मी तर मला you have really very well said about the success, the definition of success, and you have created stalwarts. Few stalwarts I saw and heard them now.
Yes.
I want to know, see sir, you तुमच्या इरामध्ये तुम्ही ICCE पासून ECC, SICS and FECO, how did you transform yourself from ICCE to FECO, sir? Since you are private practitioner also, I would love to know this from you.
And he does premium IELTS. So it's a huge transformation and transition. तर त्याच्याबद्दल 2 शब्द सांगा.
Yeah, basically part of it was we were forced, because if you want to stay in a private practice, you can't say that okay, this is something which is not
Correct.
done. I still remember once in our initial stages, there was one Tangewala who came to me, and that was a time when we had just started doing IOLs. That I'm talking about some 84, 85, because Sangli was premium for IOL surgeries. Professor used to do it. So obviously we had just started. And then obviously we used to say ki there are a lot of complications. And you heard one of the great stalwarts saying that I will put it only in my mother-in-law's eye. That was the mahol that time. So we told that fellow, see, you can just get a very good surgery by me, just wear glasses. The only almost 40 years back he said, sir, तुम्ही करत नसला तर तसं सांगा ना, उगाच कशाला बाकीचं सांगताय. See, this is where then you need to learn that. Secondly, one of my senior but my student, Dr. Mehta here from Sangli, he used to be behind me. No, you start IOLs in civil hospital also. Why those people should go? On the contrary, they require this more than anybody else.
Correct.
Because they are going to work in farms, they are going to work everywhere. They can't afford even glasses every time. So start doing it. And there were no IOLs available from the government. So we used to charge everybody saying that, okay, you pay to the sister and then we will get it from the professor. When the government supply started, that was somewhere around 10 years afterwards, you will be surprised here. There used to be boxes of 100 IOLs at a time, all with 20.5 or all with 19.5, no other thing. The question, whosoever was giving it, never thought that you need
Variation
of IOLs to be.
Correct.
Talk about the 10-0 nylon and this lens. And then there was an inquiry committee also on me by the dean that time, because somebody complained that Kulkarni sir is taking 500 rupees per person and that has to be inquired into. And then we showed them that the money is there with the sister and this is how we have purchased it. So you have to fight all these things. But then you have to transform. There is no question. You can't lag behind. The LASIK machine, when we took it somewhere around 1999, was one of the first in this entire area. But then you have to learn that. We had to learn topography, then we learned the LASIK, then we run the rest of the things. So everywhere, see, that is where my group practice helped me a lot, because see, if you remember in 1992, we spent about 45 lakhs for the laser center. Now that was virtually impossible for us to raise that kind of money, and no bank would rather give us that much amount of money, because we had the liberty of subsidizing the rates whenever a patient was not affording, and that was possible only with the group practice. Even when we started excimer laser, we had 19 people to start with who contributed. When we started Atharvanetra in Pune also, the students there started complaining that you established a Lions Lab hospital in Miraj. We learned everything and we can't practice it in Pune because we can't afford to have phaco machines and lasers and everything. So we started that. So basic idea is that this group practice helps everybody rather than an individual practice. and everybody has his own set of income which is guaranteed. For our branch, I don't think anybody who can go without food, even if he doesn't practice with so much of equipments and everything. But then if you can satisfy yourself that yes, I'm doing the best for the patient, then obviously you had to invest in the equipments also. You can't simply say that no, I'm going to practice whatever I was doing it earlier. When we started our practice, in all my colleagues, we the maximum amount which we had to invest was ranging between 10,000 to 15,000, and still the banks used to refuse to give that much amount of money. They used to say it's a credit crunch, you won't get any money from us. So now the things are totally changed. Only thing is we shouldn't depend on those equipments and say that because we are invested in equipments we have to recover the money. Once that sort of thing comes, and once you become more rich, I think that bluntness comes. Then you start losing you as a consultant or a doctor, and then you start thinking in the terms of a corporate person or a manager. See, now that corporate is assuming something like a bad sense when somebody talks about a corporate hospital. Actually, it's a good one. Only thing is, it is being misused by the people who are not doctors themselves. That's
बरोबर.
why I said that why give all these things to somebody else to run? Why not we run it ourselves in a group practice? You can invest much and you can still retain your position as a person who has the humanity left in you. And that always pays. There is nothing like that you lose everything. Don't compare somebody who has something which you want to aspire. And like people or rightly said, the competition has to be with yourself. You don't have to try some finding
Absolutely.
out somebody who is that much amount of rich or no. No problem. You remain satisfied. As I said, what you can do is you don't have anybody to complain against you, and you can sleep at night properly.
Mhm. Sir, तुमचं I think network. Okay,
Yes.
you're there. Okay. Great listening to all of them.
Absolutely. It was a real
And
fun and
and you know,
inspiring
and this
actually.
absolutely. I myself learned a few things, and I wish I incorporate in my day-to-day life as well as teaching. Yes,
Well said.
I think, yeah. So thank you all.
Thank all of you for
Thank you.
giving
Yeah,
us this
thank you,
opportunity.
teachers,
So
and
thank
thank you.
everybody.
Yeah,
Thank you.
all
Thank
of
you.
you. Thank you
Yeah,
so
I
much
take
for being.
opportunity to thank you, Deshpande sir, Kulkarni sir, and everyone, all the speakers. Thank you.
I like
Absolutely,
your
it was a
side.
pleasure to have you and
Yeah.
listen to the old stories and
Actually, I'm
memories.
blessed.
Thank you.
I'm feeling blessed.
I think all the teachers had something more than just being a teacher. We have seen with Motwani
Yes,
ma'am, she was a great department builder. She
absolutely.
actually
Yeah,
developed
yeah.
amazing department.
Absolutely. Yes.
With Colonel Deshpande sir, we saw that sir is an institutional builder. Sir has developed HV Desai institution. From Kulkarni sir, we have seen that apart from teaching, sir has also made his name in private practice.
Private,
And also,
yes.
sir has been an institutional builder himself, also with the NABI hospital. And sir is a great force behind the organizations like MOS. So I think all of them have actually done so much more. And as sir has clearly said, that there is a very nice quote which says, I touch the future because I teach. म्हणजे मी भविष्याला हात लावतोय कारण की मी शिकवतो. आणि you can see here that amongst our teachers today, the people who spoke themselves have become great figures in the field of ophthalmology. I think that is the real success of all our teachers. So thank you to all, Dr. Colonel Deshpande sir, Dr. Kulkarni sir, Dr. Motwani ma'am for accepting our invite. And before we conclude and go to the official vote of thanks, a very quick comment from Dr. Agarwal sir and Dr. Paranzape sir, and then I would request Aditi to do the official vote of thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Vardhaman. Thank you, all the legendary teachers, Dr. Colonel Deshpande sir, Motwani madam, and Kulkarni sir, who have unveiled their life story for us We are very fortunate to have you in today's webinar. And also thanks from the bottom of our heart for giving acceptance to our invitation. We have learned a lot from you. Our young generation will be benefited by your pearls of wisdom, whatever you are told from your experiences. Definitely that will help in our practice, as well as a teacher, whatever means position you are holding. I think that will help to become a good ophthalmologist, not only in academics, but beyond ophthalmology. That is your virtues or your values that also counts in your practice or for happiness. I think thank you so much, all of you, and also Prasad, Shirish, and Dr. Dole and others who have contributed their feelings about all the legends. Thank you, MOS team also. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Mandar, sir, for your quick comment, please.
Yeah, it was indeed a fantastic experience to be part of this webinar. I have known Deshpande sir and Kulkarni sir for some time now. I have always looked up to them, admired the way they conduct themselves, and it is just by observing the way they talk, they conduct themselves, that you learn so many things. Incidentally, Motwane madam was my examiner during DOMS. So it is connecting the three people. I feel that some way or the other, you imbibe those virtues, those values, which are so very vital in your life. I would just end by saying a Japanese quote that even if you spend 100 hours with 100 books, if you spend one day with a good teacher, that makes your life. I think this 1 hour of 2 hours of this experience has taught us a lot of things, as the earlier legend webinars as well. And I must thank and congratulate Dr. Vardhaman, Dr. Aditi for coming up with this series. And it has been fantastic learning for all of us through these interactions with the series of legends from our own fraternity, from our own state society. And luckily this webinars will be available on YouTube for posterity. So our future generations can learn a lot of things by just listening to these webinars. I wish all three teachers a very healthy, long life, and may you continue with the noble work that you are doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. And thank you to our president, actually, Dr. Agarwal, sir, for being the force behind all these webinars, all our guiding force. And we are very thankful to sir. So now I would like to go with Dr. Aditi for the official vote of thanks. But first, before to come to that, I would like to really congratulate and kudos to Dr. Naina ma'am and Dr. Anamika ma'am for really putting so much of life into today's interactions. Thank you. Over to you, Aditi.
Thank you. Thank you.
For going to actual official vote of thanks, मला NK सरांबद्दलचा एक अनुभव शेअर करायचा आहे. एक 4-5 वर्ष झाली असतील. 4-5 वर्षांपूर्वी मला सरांनी विचारलं की आमच्याकडे ऑक्युलोप्लास्टीच्या केसेस करायला येशील का. तेव्हा मी खूप एकदम एक्साइट झाले होते की अरे सरांसारखं कोणीतरी आपल्याला म्हणते की आमच्याकडे येऊन केसेस कर. पण कुठेतरी एक कोपऱ्यात जरा भीती वाटत होती. मी सरांशी कधीच इंटरॅक्शन केलं नव्हतं, पण सर जसं म्हणाले सगळ्यांकडून ऐकलं होतं की सर खूप स्ट्रिक्ट आहेत. आणि मला कोणीतरी सांगितलं होतं की एकदम बी केअरफुल ना, सरांबरोबर काम करायचं म्हणजे तुम्ही परफेक्शनच असायला पाहिजे प्रत्येक कामामध्ये, अदरवाईज काय असोसिएशन तुमची लॉंग टर्म कंटिन्यू होत नाही. तर त्यामुळे थोडीशी भीती होती. पण आय मस्ट से की सरांना ऍक्च्युअली भेटले आणि आय एम फॉर्च्युनेट इनफ की प्रत्येक व्हिजिटला मी जेव्हा केव्हा जाते ते आय मेक इट अ पॉइंट की सर जर ओपीडी मध्ये असतील तर एक 2 मिनिटं का होईना त्यांच्या केबिनमध्ये डोकवून जाते. आणि छान वाटतं तेवढी 2 मिनिटांमध्ये सुद्धा नक्कीच काहीतरी नवीन शिकायला मिळतं. आणि आय मस्ट से आय एम फॉर्च्युनेट इनफ की अजून तरी आमचे असोसिएशन कंटिन्युइंग आहे. सो आय फील की थोडंसं परफेक्शन आय एम जस्ट ट्राईंग टू ब्रिंग इन माय वर्क. सो बट आय मस्ट से इव्हन फ्रॉम प्लास्टी पॉइंट ऑफ व्ह्यू सुरुवातीला सरांची काही डिस्कशन्स व्हायची, अगदी टोसिस सर्जरी फेशियल ॲटापासून इतक्या गोष्टी छान सरांच्या डिस्कशन मधनं नवीन शिकायला आणि हे करायला मिळाल्या. सो आय एम रिअली थँकफुल टू NK सर फॉर गिव्हिंग मी द अपॉर्च्युनिटी टू वर्क for your institute and continuing the association will be a great thing for me.
Thank you.
So now I think coming back to the official vote of thanks, I must say what an amazing episode to end this Legend series, which we were continuing for the whole year. My sincere thanks to all three gurus for accepting our invitation to be a part of this Legend series and enlightening us with the pearls of their wisdom. And it was really invaluable inputs which we got from them, really inspirational. I would like to thank Dr. Valimbe sir, Dr. Gokte sir, Dr. Shirish Thorat sir for joining us online and sharing their experiences. I would also like to thank Dr. Kuldeep Dole sir, Dr. Parekh sir and Dr. Shanbag madam for sharing their experiences with a recorded video. Naina madam and Anamika madam, I must thank you for amazing moderation and making the session so lively.
Thank you. Thank you, Aditi. It was the first time I did.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's
And
actually
with
a very
Anamika's support,
experienced
I think.
No, Naina has taken immense efforts, huh? Anamika and Naina, madam. Very.
Yes, we had gone to WS, na? That time during the journey, we, just made up the questions and we discussed, So thanks to Anamika.
Yes, and
Yeah,
thanks
and
to
thank you,
Naina
Emma.
madam for being my support.
And this episode is also going to be available for everybody. I'm going to share the link of recorded link. I have just checked it. It is working well. So
Great.
it will be available immediately. Thank you.
Great, great.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Vardhaman. Thank you, Dr. Santosh.
thank
Thank you,
Indore.
Aditi. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for making this successful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And keep blessing us, sir. I request all the three stalwarts to keep blessing us and shower your love and blessing every time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
want to comment
you.
about Anamika. She was, while talking, she was living that life. Good.
Yes.
Yes,
Good.
yes.
Then
Thank
thank you and good night, everyone.
Okay,
Thank you.
bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.